been a massive hindrance not having Casement Park for Antrim because we were nomads for a period of time. We didn't have a home as such over the past 3 seasons. Now Corrigan Park has become our home, but Casement Park is where we all want to be. Casement Park is just part of the fabric of Antrim GAA, the history behind it. Even a lot of my father's generation were actually schooled in Casement Park. Then you had the British Army taking it over for a period of time, and it's something that as a child I looked forward to going to Casement so much to watch the games and get out onto the pitch after maybe an Ulster hurling final. And look, I think a redeveloped Casement Park will provide huge opportunity for redevelopment of Gaelic games in West Belfast.
We look on at envy at Windsor Park and Kingspan, Ravenhill. Two state-of-the-art stadiums, and Casement's been sitting dormant for too long, in my opinion. Obviously, there's been issues in terms of planning, and thankfully now, hopefully, there's light at the end of the tunnel in terms of that, and hopefully we'll see construction starting in the next 12-18 months. And I know as a school teacher, we're competing with other sports, mainly soccer and rugby, and it's great to have something to look forward to for young people, and hopefully the next generation will be able to play there as soon as possible. It's, as I say, it's sitting there every time you drive past it. It's depressing, to be honest with you. Not only for employment, for young people, for businesses, for opportunity, is endless for Casement, and the sooner it gets up and going, the better.
For Belfast and for the North, it's fantastic that major international tournaments in whatever sport are being discussed in the context of Belfast and our city here. So from the point of view of the GAA's involvement, we were approached by Patrick Nelson, the Chief Executive of the Irish Football Association. Our colleagues in Croke Park were approached by the FAI, and we were asked to consider providing both Croke Park and Casement Park as potential venues for the bid. And over the course of the last 3 or 4 months, we worked very closely with the technical team involved in the bid. We worked closely with the FAI and the IFA, and we were absolutely delighted whenever Casement Park was included as part of the 14 venues at this preliminary stage. And as you mentioned, this is only the preliminary stage, and in April next year there will be a final submission made, and we're hopeful and optimistic that Casement Park will remain involved at that stage. Clearly UEFA come with a list of requirements for the use of their stadia for a major event. We've been working in the detail of that with the bid team. We have terrace facilities in the new Casement Park when built. UEFA would like us to consider the seating requirements, that if the bid is successful, then how we would accommodate that in the new Casement. So there are issues like that are under discussion, and between now and next April those conversations will continue. But what a shot in the arm it would be if the bid was successful, and not only seeing Gaelic games return to Belfast and to Casement Park, but wouldn't it be absolutely fantastic for this part of the world if we saw major international events come here? And that's the reason why the GAA got involved. These benefits that could have been delivered out at the Maze Lawn Kesh Stadium had it proceeded, we now see the prospect and the real opportunity that could possibly happen at the new Casement Park. No surprise that costs have escalated. It's been a very volatile market in terms of construction very recently. But apart from that, clearly the GAA's ambitions that are well documented from 10 years ago, there's no doubt that those costs have increased significantly over the time. So we're currently working through that cost assessment process. We're actually finalising our design at the moment, and we'll complete that work by the spring of next year. We're working collaboratively with our colleagues in the Department for Communities in relation to the development of our business case, the funding that will be required. And yes, from the GAA's perspective, our position has and remains that we've contributed £15 million to the scheme. We contributed that, or we offered to contribute that 10 years ago. That offer remains on the table as of today. Clearly the GAA itself has been through a number of funding challenges in the COVID era and in the post-COVID era. So as a national governing body of sport in Dublin, we're delighted with the support we've got from the GAA. Conversations and discussions in relation to the funding will continue. The Department for Communities, like every other government department at the moment, there's a level of uncertainty with the absence of executive ministers, but we'll keep the discussions going, and I've no doubt when it comes to the final business case that the commitments that were made by outgoing executive ministers and the commitments of current civil servants who are working diligently in the absence of those ministers, that we'll reach an agreement in relation to the final figures, and that the GAA will start the project with the full funding package made available to us.